and this and this and that to them. Well, because Austin Holloman. I want to show you that too. They didn't show. They're not going against white men traveling. They're going against black men traveling. So their whole goal is to keep black men here, so they can keep talking about us. And if we do listen to what they say about getting your shit together, we got to pick from one of the women we don't want, like we were told. And we were told that we have to be married men or men with girlfriends. We have to be subjugated to being husbands and boyfriends and having one woman and only one choice. And then only one having one sex options with one woman, right? Where she could lock us down, give us nothing at all, and we have to be locked down. Because that's what I'm hearing from these niggas. They get to do whatever they want because it's on their side. But we can't do nothing. Remember, Ty City already opened his mouth calling Passport Bros gremlins and losers, sex deprived guys, living in their mom's basement. But I was in the forums when white guys was going around throwing their videos out there. How easy it was out overseas. They had seminars about white dudes going to Japan. They didn't get called out. Like I said, I've been on YouTube ever since the start. And when I go back and think, half of these videos are not here no more. When I go back and think, there was no videos saying how messed up these people was. White guys running amok. There's more white guys getting killed in Colombia than black guys. There's more white guys doing... There's a girl on here that I replied to who said stuff like this. Bust it out, Slide. Tell the people. Now I'm gonna show you the reasons. Why, and I'm gonna break it down the reasons why they don't want you to travel. They don't want you to travel for these 9 reasons. 1, they want you to boost the self-esteem of black women and women in general. Meaning that they want you to be the butt of every joke that they make up. If you don't fit a certain narrative, they want you to be the butt of the joke. They want you to be the guy that the woman laugh at to make her feel good about herself. Or they want to be sitting beside the female and say, yeah, he ugly, he need to self-improve. Like they've been doing now. Telling guys to go to the gym, telling guys to self-improve, even though some of these guys are smarter than the guys that they talk down to. Oh, you need to self-improve, you need to be funny, you need to do this and do this to get women, just because they had to do it. And then the women agree with it. Because they would rather the women don't want to work on themselves. They don't want to work on themselves. They want the men to work on themselves, and so they can get a better reward at the end of the deal for dealing with a guy who had to do all this work, and then they reap the benefits. They want women to. They want the status quo to go back to normal. They want the big women to be able to laugh at women and to have ego boosts by these men. Because, women overall get a joy out of talking down to guys that they don't like. They get a joy out of putting guys down, knowing that these guys are lonely. Women have no overall empathy for men. They have enjoyment out of making guys close to suicide. They have a joy of making dudes run around, do this, do that, just for them. Because it makes them feel special and more than. This is why they call themselves queens. And they call themselves this and that. They give themselves titles when nobody else gave them titles. And they always want you to be below them if you don't fit a certain description and narrative that they make out there. And these guys look at it because on the world stage, they starting to look bad. Because everybody looking at them like, y'all can't even, what's wrong with y'all? Because when the guys are traveling, when most of the guys who are traveling, those are the guys who they can't make fun of no more. They can't talk about their hairline. They can't talk about how small they penis is. They can't talk about how messed up they dress or their teeth or how they talk or their voice. They can't talk about that. So now they got a whole bunch of miserable women who now throwing their emotional baggage on these dudes. So these dudes got to sit here and talk. These dudes got to put more conversation, more emotion in their conversations when they talk to these women before they get sex. Because the women overall, it was a video that BGS said that they look defeated. Some of these black women look defeated. So these guys don't want their aunts. They're doing it for their family members. And I'm gonna go to that one too. They're doing it because they see that their family members, female family members, and the people they know females they know, are unhappy in the dating market, and they want to bring these guys back in order to throw these guys under the bus just for women to feel good about themselves. Because when a woman smiles in front of them, it's all worth it. It's all worth it when you're putting another man down for women. Even if it costs a man his life, you don't value men and help from men, but you just want to use men to step on them for the validation of women. But when these men are gone, you can't use these men as examples. You can't say, that guy's an incel, that guy is this, that guy is that, because the guy is out your reach. So they need these dudes to boost the egos of these women. They need these guys to go back and try to go in these chicks' inboxes, call them thirsty. They need somebody to roast. They need somebody to call thirsty. They need somebody to laugh at who's taking care of other people's kids. They need those guys. Because them and the women together can laugh at these guys together for their shitty lives. Second, they want you to make women who can't find a man happy. That goes to the self-esteem point. Any of their women that they know that are single, their family members who are single, they don't want to see that. They want the men who know that they never wanted. They want the men who nobody never wanted to come into their family and make these women happy, so they can sit back and say, my cousin married a PhD dude, man. He's a cool dude. We got a PhD in our family. Or, oh yeah, man, my cousin husband, he's a welder, and we get him to do work in our house. Or, yeah, man, we it's black love over here. It's black love over here. It's black love over here.
See, I called this out back in 2019. It's more prevalent than it is now. This is 2019. This is Passport Gate. This is what happened 6 years ago. So it wasn't me pretending that I knew it all. It was me predicting what they was going to do next. What I didn't know they was going to do was use money to support this type of shit in order for this shit to happen, right? So let's break down Floyd. And that's to be the last thing. So let's see, where is he at? Foreign only. So the guy who said that he
Bullshit people don't come to Brazil, bro. It's way too far. For people that just want to come play shit, they could easily go to Colombia, they could easily go to everywhere else. I mean, you know, there's a lot of other places they can go to. People don't come to Brazil, bro. It's way too far. For people that just want to come play shit, they could easily go to.
Lazy people don't come to Brazil. Yeah. Look, we gonna analyze the things that this dude said and how, you know, he's trying to run defense.
Already had in place, you just gotta have $2,000 a bank. If you don't have $2,000, I mean, I'm not gonna say you shouldn't be traveling, but I mean,
it is.
Everybody should have $2,000 in their bank account, bro. Yeah. I mean, if that's stopping you from traveling, then already had in place, you just gotta have $2,000 a bank. If you don't have $2,000, I mean, I'm not gonna say you shouldn't be traveling, but I mean,
it is.
Everybody should have $2,000 in their bank account, bro. Yeah. I mean, if that's stopping you from traveling, then already had in place, you just gotta have $2,000.
Most definitely.
Even though they flaky, I still gotta build up my Instagram and have a bunch of bad bitches following my Instagram.
Yeah, of course.
See?
It was like 2 billion people. Okay, that was like 2 lifetimes ago. We are at 8 billion people now. Why are there more people? Because fucking medical technology has gotten better, and because there's other black people that were already there that were also brought as slaves. Next, there are Africans that are being told by African companies that they are going to work at a good job in Russia. There's Africans telling other Africans that.
Mike. And that's right.
I got the Floyd thumbs up.
That's right. That's caught.
See? All over. These 2 dudes all over hanging out with him. They started with him. Now let's see Floyd's, what you call it? What's this?
You've left your body behind. You've traveled light years so that you can have access to the ultimate payday.
Tau Ceti 4 to us is this place that really doesn't want you there.
So, let me talk to you guys about what's going on and meditate to it, right? So get a clip. Consider it gone. Just
Now let's do this. Oldest. We go.
Here's my new YouTube channel. It's called Foreign Only. You know how it is. But I will be in Brazil June 1st. And I think I'll be there until June 13th or June 14th. The reason why I'm only staying for 2 weeks is because I have court on June 15th. And I got to get back for court. You know, you don't want to miss your court dates because if you do, you know, they tend to...
So, he was already having a court date for something that he did in America. He got arrested 13 times. And y'all still decided to do this with this dude? When it's easy, when by this time, Austin Holloman and even the Vibe dude had the ability to look this dude up and use a database to look this guy up. Now both of them are involved in this shit, and anything these dudes do that's criminal, especially the guy who live in Brazil, it's gonna come back to him. Right? He has to disassociate with him. So the guy covered the Vibe or some shit, the Fred Vibe boy dude, he got himself covered. Austin Holloman, someone tells me that he's pulling a scam. So somebody is going to pretend that they gonna take his course and then see if they got scammed from it, and then they gonna get them like that. So that's a prediction that Austin Holloman might be going down for this shit too, but he might be going down for something else.
But unfortunately, I just can't afford to go that far right now. They make it extremely hard to go to Africa. They make the tickets expensive. Just going one way is like $1,800. It's very expensive. And they don't want you to go to Africa. They don't want you to go overseas.
Mind you, this is Austin Holloman. 2023. This Austin Holloman hanging out with this guy.
One of the best parts about the CX-5 is its driving characteristics. Compact SUVs aren't supposed to be this fun.
I'd do anything.
See, and this is what the thing about the black community that, like, a lot of us don't really want to be in the black community for real, is that they openly support crash out dudes who they know is doing bad. They would not support good guys or nerds or people who are, I don't see them under good positive traveling content. They always supporting crash outs. And people like this who say shit like this, they're all going to be investigated or looked into to see what they're doing. Floyd is a creepy ass weirdo. Now, mind you, the girl that Austin Holloman was with the red hair, they basically said she was a pass around in Thailand. So and then for some reason we were supposed to take advice from an autistic criminal crash out, and he's supposed to be content. Do y'all remember the D's Nuts dude? Remember in the black community they made him a thing? Remember the Gorilla Glue girl? For some reason in the black community, entertaining people is more important than have somebody with substance. So basically they created this piece of shit, and now Austin Holloman is hanging out with him. This is what?
Previously on.
This is last year. This is last year. So Austin Holloman, he's all over it. Same thing with him.
The Chevy Colorado at 430 pound-feet of standard torque, and nowhere to be but out there. Chevy trucks. Dependability comes.
Previously on Foreign Only.
This time in Brazil with my friend Austin Holland, right?
Austin Holland, yes.
Austin Holland. We in Salvador, Brazil at a concert.
See? And we're going to see shit like this. This guy. He ain't had nothing to say.
Welcome once again to another epic episode of Foreign Only, where we talk any and everything about travel, culture.
See? He had all these collaborations with people, even though he was a crash out. Avoid high Uber and bad box as a passport bro. Mind you, he's putting himself as a passport bro. This is only last year.
You're right.
This is only last year. This is July. of last year. He's calling himself a passport bro. So it's 3 months ago he was in Venezuela. So basically he was doing this shit. He was probably doing this shit to fund himself. He was. I wouldn't be surprised if he was doing this in other countries. And he got caught in Brazil because he had to leave Brazil and then did this shit in another country. I don't think he was doing it when he was hanging out with Austin Holloman. But Austin Holloman knew this nigga was a weirdo. And the way he got caught, the way he looked when he got caught. Let's see that real quick.
Marathon is rewarding fans with savings of up to $1 per gallon, all by earning rewards on every gallon and on select in-store items, making every pit stop and snack break worthy of a celebration. Marathon, the official fuel of the Big Ten.
When a migraine strikes and I've taken a triptan, side effects like dizziness can throw me off.
I'm officially a passport bro.
But I hadn't heard nothing from this dude in a long time.
And this cornball dude right here, he always adding politics to shit and taking jabs at politicians and shit like that, but using the name Passport Bro. He's one of the fakest dudes in Passport Bro movement too, because Passport Bro is not a political movement. But if you look at his non-views, and go see what the hell that was about.
Chris Hansen.
So they're trying to make it something this is not. And this guy trying to cover for him. Now, Big Truck is, like I said, he's a fucking weird. He's another weirdo, but at least he has money. At least he has something to fall back on. We never seen what he looked like, or, you know, Truck is a grifter for the Passport Bro movement. If you look at his older videos, 15 years ago, he was not a Passport Bro. None of his he was pretty much talking about other stuff.
I partner with Their Breath because after each...
Right? Reviewing cars, showing clips, Patricia O'Neal, all this other shit right here. He was not a Passport Bro. He didn't give a fuck about Passport Bro. He only got on it because it got
Battery
popular.
level is 20%.
Because it got popular. It got popular. It got popular. That the list always comes to firm. Look, let's continue to keep going. The fuck? How many? You ain't gonna load it. You ain't gonna load. Oh, here we go. Here, let me get this out of here. Okay, it's something wrong with it. Oh, what the fuck? What's the froze? Well, this guy has something to say. I don't know what he got to say.
Colombia, specifically in, I think this is called San Felipe de Castillo, the castle here. But anyways, guys, today I'm not going to be talking to you about Cartagena. I think you guys know what I'm going to, well, obviously you see the title, so you know what I'm about to get into. Guys, this is a difficult topic. This is a very, very difficult topic because, I mean, there's several reasons why. But I'm not gonna make any jokes. Let's just go right into it. So, guys, for those that don't know, a American man. I don't know if he's a foundational Black American. I don't know. I don't know. He could be. I don't know specifically. But an American man was arrested in Sao Paulo for child sexual exploitation behavior, essentially PDF behavior. So I'm not gonna go into the details. A lot of you guys have heard it from other content creators, have broken it down in detail. But guys, from the macro perspective, this is very negative for passport bros around the world. And guys, one of the reasons why this is so damaging, so damning, so negative is because there's already an agenda to ruin passport bro spaces, i.e. Sosua. Another example, Medellin, for example. Now, in Brazil, I'm sure that they're going to go even harder against the passport bros. And some of you might be saying, John, what's a passport bro? And, you know, that's a very good question. And there are several different potential answers, but in this situation, as it relates to governments abroad, as it relates to international, from an international perspective, unfortunately, guys, a lot of people, when they think of passport bros, they think of Black men traveling.
So, I had to go back and forth with somebody. I hate when people say dumb shit like that. But we got another guy. I looked into him because he was going back and forth with O'Shea. This another dude who, I don't know. Let me try to check to see if it's one here. Let's go down. Let's see if my scrolls work. Let's see if it worked now. Let's see if I can go all the way to his first channel. I mean his first. So he didn't just get it to Passport Bros, I think. Well, let me see. He didn't just get it to Passport Bros. He's been a traveling guy. His videos go back 11 years. So he didn't just come into this. This is why I say it's better to look at people's history instead of just acting like you know that they jump into something, right? Let's go to Big Truck. Let's go back to him. It works now. It fucked up. Now let's show Big Truck's history and when he started using Passport Bros as a grip. Right? Let's so his whole channel for the past 14 something years, maybe a little bit less, was all about cars, technology, cars, and entertainment, and movies, and cars. And then for some reason, he decided that he wanted to be a passport bro. Which you could tell that he's not really a passport bro. He just using it as a click thing. He's not a passport bro. He just has money to say he's a passport bro and travel to a couple countries and to pretend that he's a passport bro. He don't care about passport bro because he's put his politics in everything. So let's see, 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, I knew it was something wrong. Something was wrong. There we go. Nothing passport bro related. This is 10 years ago. None of that. We'll see if he's a grifter. He's one of the 2020 grifters. Let's see. Let's see if he's one of the 2020 grifters. If his videos start going in 5 years ago, and we see the first video he had on Passport Bros was 5 years ago, he's one of the Austin Holloman grifters. 8, 7, 6. His crypto bullshit. All he got is guns and showing stuff off. But I don't see no passport bro stuff. We almost done. So, this is me investigating this because, you know, here we go. Okay. He has now put in travel videos, but he wasn't a passport bro video. His first video was 6 years ago. 6 years ago. Let's see what it looks like. What year this was. 2019. 2019. He didn't call himself a passport bro, but he did talk. He did travel. So let's give him that. Let's give that example. He was not a passport bro, but he was a traveler. But all his videos is technology and phones and technology and phones. Let's see. Let's see if he jumped into it. Let's see. You gotta see it. Let's see. 5 years ago. All it is tech. It's not about traveling. I don't get when you change your name. This is why I say you can't trust certain people. You can't trust certain people, man. This is 4 years ago. All he's talking about is cars and crypto. Cars and crypto and guns. Cars, crypto and guns. Biden. Well, yeah, here we go. His politics, his black bullshit politics. So let's see. Let's see. I don't see any passport bro videos at all. This is 4 years ago. This is no videos of him being a passport bro. None of them. None of them. I don't see it. Maybe I scroll too fast, but I don't see it. Video games, software shit, none of it. I don't see any of it. So this guy he's not a passport bro. He's not a passport bro. So he jumped on it. Maybe when Austin Holloman was a thing. Let's see. This is what I call when a person has money, they get bored of having money and they want to be able to be heard, have a voice, because they don't want to be a person with just money. They want to be somebody. They want to have fame now. Having money and fame is two different things. Being able to spend your money and have good things is different, because you could fit into that. Here we go. The Manosphere in Griff, they flyed her out, but did SYSBM. He tried to use SYSBM. This is what 2022 is the only answer. SYSBM is the only answer. This is 2022, guys. We're watching it full screen. This is how I do when I investigate certain people. Here we go. Passport Bros right here. His passport. But he's showing it on screen. This is 2022. Here we go. Passport Bro. The first ever video of Passport Bro. Here we go. 2022. So he was an Austin Holloman light. An Austin Holloman light because Passport Bro. Here we go. Second video. Third video. Fourth video. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. Eighth. Ninth. 10th. Eleventh. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. He a grifter. I gave the goal of a 20 video grift. Out of... He has... Let's see. How many videos he have on his channel. Let's go back. Let's go. He has 3,300 videos. He probably have about 50 or 60 Passport Bro videos. He was never a Passport Bro. He was always a grifter. Oops. Get me the fuck out of here. Let me unsubscribe. I'm trying to piss this. So, I don't understand if he has all this money. Why has he got a Cash App? He joined in 2010. And he has no Passport Pro video stuff. His post is all about random shit that he likes. But in politic bullshit. And random stupid shit. This is another reason why I say pay attention to the list. He tried to use SYSBM and it didn't work because SYSBM has standards. And that's what happened. So, Austin Holloman and this dude, Vibe, is all over his channel. Mainly Austin Holloman. And then, you have the second crash out. J. Rollo. J. Rollo and Floyd. Birds of a Feather. 3 videos with Floyd and J. Rollo. 2 videos with this guy. See? So, Austin Holloman is to blame. Half of the dudes that supported him is to blame. If he is indicted and incriminated for child endangerment and child this and child that, all the people that was a part of it, they're going to be investigated. Austin Holloman, the Vibe dude, all these people, they're going to start doing that. They're going to collaborate with the United States to everything these guys going to do online is going to be shown to them. And it's going to be even worse on all these other guys. They said they've been watching him for 3 years. So, technically, it's been ever since Austin Holloman's situation. They say they've been watching him for 3 years. Let me give you to the clip, to the thing. Let me give you to the article. Let's see. Boop. Okay. What the fuck? 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Arrested for underage. 34 years. Show videos. I got it, man. Stop. Okay. 30 became online notorious. Blah blah blah. Sexual exploitation. Blah blah blah. Wallace has a channel of 100 and something subscribers, built up a criminal record across 13 states. More recent, sex tourist or passport war is a slang for Western men who travels to poor countries in search for sexual encounters, which is a lie. He spent several in Colombia, blah blah blah, and this. Okay.
Battery level is 15%.
So, in 2022, he was arrested for being tased when he refused to comply with the officers and been called a witness to carry out blah blah blah, carrying a black case near a fire station, fearing a possible attack. Charges were dropped. Wallace claimed he was accessible, blah blah blah. Records show a 2016 arrest for theft in Nebraska for numerous encounters by documented websites that track the activity, saw cop watchers. He was later convicted of assault, blah blah blah. 2025. Let's see what the comment section says, and we're gonna be done with this because my battery life is pretty much going to shot. Let's see what they say. Come on. Okay, let me plug this up real quick. Okay. Well, he has no. They lied about that. They said he had 150 subscribers, but he only has 5,000 subscribers. So basically, they're just lying. The Daily News is lying their ass off for clicks and views. Let's get this right here. Brazil. Okay. Maybe because the power of the battery, low energy. It's not, the processing power is pretty low. So this phone is brand new. I bought it this year, so this phone ain't slow. So here we go. Okay, let's see. The article left out Wallace apparently was caught in a crackdown on foreigners coming to the country for exploitation. 14, and all of the lawmakers should be arrested. So here we go. The age of consent to the country goes as low as 14. So basically in Brazil, 14 is the age of consent. Okay, they really didn't say anything kind of bad, but So basically, they put them on. I don't care what you say. If I put somebody on and I create somebody and I give them a place and a position and stuff, if I let a person, if I'm a coach, and I work with teenage girls, and I conduct myself the right way, and I introduce some weird ass guy, try to give him an opportunity, and he goes and does something to them girls that I work with, you know, you understand that it's gonna be on me for allowing him to get into that environment, right? So they created this crash out. They try to make money from this crash out, and they try to market him as like this cleanup position guy, when it was just a money grab to everybody. I don't want to say it like this. They were trying to make the slow kid into a popular kid overseas, and it didn't work out for him, right? They tried to make him into a D's nuts guy, right? Guys like this, look. Here we go, him.
What kind of nuts you looking for? These nuts. Hot, got him.
See, so this has been a thing in black culture, is to exploit the slow and the dumb with it for personal gain and laughter. And that's what they use Floyd as. They brung him in when he wasn't supposed to be a part of the passport and try to make their own version of that guy overseas. And they fucked the whole movement up. That's what happens when you don't give a fuck about anybody else. When you travel the world as a black guy, when you travel in general, you have to look out for somebody else who's going to travel too. You can't be doing too much. White people can do whatever the fuck they want. They go overseas, they do some of the most heinous shit ever, and nobody says anything. But most of this time, country do prosecute you if you're sitting there telling everybody to come to their country to smash women. You know why? Because this happened with the guy in Colombia, East Dave or some Dave. He went to jail for exploiting people or promoting that shit. So in a way, I understand it. You can't put this on there. So let me make a prediction. Floyd is going to be, he either going to be killed, or he's going to spend the rest of his, he's going to spend 35 years in jail. The backlash of this is that people are going to continue to keep calling you a pedo and everything else. Prepare for it. Prepare for a bunch of lawsuits, because a lot of people are going to start getting lawsuits, because that's the new thing next year. Last year this year was a thing. Get ready for the lawsuits. Get ready for all this defamation that's going to be happening, and get ready for 10,000 more videos on Passport Bros, because a group of niggas decided that they want to make a D's Nuts guy for him. Austin Holloman is again a part of the source of the problem, the reason why some guys shouldn't be traveling. He created a shitstorm again by bringing the wrong people in. J. Rollo, he did his shit. Now we have Floyd. This is all from Austin Holloman camp. There's a lot of guys from Austin Holloman camp that cause a lot of chaos. Another prediction is Austin Holloman might be coming back to America, because they might not want him in their country no more. But I will be surprised. This is a prediction for Austin Holloman. He might be banned from multiple countries. There's going to be stricter laws on black men going to some of these countries. You won't be able to have a phone on you like that. Or they're just going to change certain laws like they did in Japan or the Philippines. Because in the Philippines, thanks to Vitali, you can't film anybody no more. Thanks to Vitali. So some of these laws, they see it's been brewing up anyway for American citizens and other countries and other people. There was an Australian girl who did something in Mexico and she almost got out of there. Floyd was a product and creation of Austin Holloman. And everybody who was with him, did collaboration, had them on his channel. Now you're going to be looked under as an umbrella. From now on, I think that we all should make sure that we get our information and we watch certain people. We have to do our digging into other people before we take advice from them and see what type of person they are, their background. Like I did this. Everybody, when you see a YouTube channel saying some shit, do this. Let me show you. Super Sly.
In less than a minute, I'm going to show you how things...
I mean, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls. I don't think.
So let's see it now. So Super Sly has a lot of shit to say, but you can see he has a channel. His channel, ever since YouTube started. Now, do his channel reflects that? Nope. As somebody who went back and forth, not technically back and forth with him, he erased all of his previous videos on Passport Bros, going against the manosphere, with his wife, his kid, all this stuff. He erased a lot of shit. He hid a lot of shit. This is why you don't take guys like him seriously. Now, let me expose somebody else. This chick right here is a super grifter. Now, she decides she want to talk about certain things at the same time agreeing with Super Sly, right? But then you got this guy Nick.
So glad we're talking about men weaponizing food in household. And this is one of the main reasons I'm so glad I will never have to have a man in my house. Because men feel entitled to the food of the house and will exhibit a level of control over it that can become so extreme in nature.
Now, mind you, she's a Super Sly super fan. This woman right here. But she knows there's a problem in the dating scene over here. But as a woman, she don't want to put it out there unless she talks about it when she doesn't. And talk shit about Passport Bros. But this guy right here, I don't think he has a problem with Passport Bros. He has a problem with people over here. By the way, this guy is a former Special Forces guy who got his channel knocked down under the Biden administration because he was telling the truth. This is one of his videos on Obama lying about the Obamacare. Let's see. Here we go.
To the American people, if you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor. Period. If you like your health care plan, you will be able to keep your health care plan. Period. If you like your doctor or health care plan, you can keep it. Nothing in this plan will require you or your employer to change the coverage of the doctor you have. The only change you'll see are falling costs as our reforms take hold. If you like your healthcare system and your doctor, The only thing reform will mean to you is your health care will cost less. I will not sign a plan that adds one dime to our deficits, either now or in the future. It is a cost that will not, I repeat, will not add to our deficits. There will be a provision in this plan that requires us to come forward with more spending cuts if the savings we promised don't materialize. Because it is paid for and curbs the waste and inefficiency in our healthcare system, this bill will help reduce our deficit by as much as $1.3 trillion in the coming decades, making it the largest deficit reduction plan in over a decade. It will actually reduce the deficit by $4 trillion over the long term. Healthcare reform must be and will be deficit neutral in the next decade. We have built into law all sorts of measures that in the years to come, healthcare inflation, which has been rising about 3 times as fast as people.
Now here we go.
Administration, the Bush administration, has done nothing to control the problem that we have. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the border.
And here she goes in the comment sections.
Borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem. And the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. And oftentimes, employers are exploiting these undocumented workers. They're not paying the minimum wage. They're not observing worker safety laws. And so what we have to do is create a comprehensive solution to the problem. Now, I have already stated that as president, I will make sure that we finally have the kind of border security that we need. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is to take on employers. Right now, an employer has more of a chance of getting hit by lightning than be prosecuted.
See? And that's why I rock with Nick Taylor, even though he hangs out with Super Sly, but he don't hang out with him a lot no more. He said hi to him. He's, you know. And this is the thing that I always like. We have these conversations and stuff, right? You have the stuff. But a lot of these people who talk against passport bros, they always use the bad examples, but they never use the good examples. Their good examples is never good for everybody. Our good examples is good for everything. For good for everybody. We want everybody to succeed. We want every man to be happy with the choices he make. We don't want no man to be settling or being in a position where he's set back and he's sitting there unhappy and he's looking at his ugly, unattractive wife and he's like, I don't want to be around her. And then the next minute, you know, he drives and he never be seen again and they find his body. We don't want that, right? The passport bro movement wasn't all about relationships and marriages. It was always about unconnecting yourself from this culture and getting a different perspective in many different cultures. And it's always about options. But it wasn't about bragging. It wasn't about making money off people. It wasn't about posting females all the fucking time. It was always about a sort of promotion, and then you cut that off. When Charles Tyler was alive, he ran a little scam, a dating scam, to get men to date on a Brazilian website. But people were like, it was a fake, it was scam, it was scummy. But at the same time, he had people from Brazil that was in the group helping men transition from America to overseas and tell you the do's and the don'ts. I remember I talked to the girl live stream about certain music and what it was sounding like, and she put me on to some of the music that I listened to today. And the funny part about it was Charles Tyler never invited some of these. When passport bro thing, that I realized it was when the Brazil stuff with Charles Tyler and the vile shit that these people said, but it wasn't super popular. So it's up to you whether you want these people to stop you from going overseas and traveling and being scared that these countries are going to put you in jail if you're not doing anything wrong. right? We're gonna see what's gonna happen, right? You got to give this until June to see what's happening, to see something else big happening. Like I said, we gonna sit on this shit, man. But this is the last video, and you have to understand these people need you. They need guys here to feel better about themselves. They need people to pick on, because a lot of these channels are flailing. So now this Floyd shit, they're gonna make about half of these people that made passport videos. They're gonna make about 20 or 30 different passport rules videos. Their whole goal is to put you in jail if you get outside their program. And they want you to stay here and be miserable, right? And that's what it is, man.